Hey guys, it's me, MavicJack24 here. Today's a bit of a different video since I am in college and it is orientation week. There's a few bits of background noise that are just people moving in and talking to each other's families. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing is doing a bit of an editing tutorial for a photo still of how to create a lightsaber effect on a photo editor known as Photopea, which which I'm using the .com version, which is free. And to be honest, it should be fun, and I'll show you some of the steps that I use to pretty much help me in my free time create some lightsaber design. Well, some lightsaber blade styles, nonetheless, but no, it's like I don't actively do blade styles, I just do different custom color editing, and it's fun. It's fun to do. But, anyways, let me just. First, you look up a picture of something of a fight duel behind the scenes. I'm sorry, but I really don't care about this fan fiction here. I'm not sure why they have that. Not sure why they have the fan fiction as being a part there, but anyways, give me a sec. I'm just trying to find where's a good one. And the issue is that I always have is trying to find a good picture to use as a reference. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see. You know what? Just to make things easier, I'll just use this picture. Usually takes a while to find a pretty cool picture. Now, see, once you well, what you do is you drag and then drop your picture into an empty Photopias thing, like what I just did. And then, from there, you must simply click on the lock tool for the background. So that way you don't accidentally move it around when doing something. Now we head over to the select tool. You're going to want to hit the polygonal lasso tool. And now from here we begin tracing out the blade. In my case, I'm gonna just do loops just to make it a bit easier to comprehend a bit, since you slowly start tracing the outlines of the blade on its edge very carefully. Because I will say, it will get trickier to do this if you're using a very blurry photo. And it's not exactly very pleasant to do so. But trick with edges is to actually zoom on in and then hit it from there, and go about here, then start sliding down a little bit, because in some images, the blade may blend into the background, and that could be a bit hard to tell apart from where the blade is compared to what is background. Since I've edited this photo million times as practice, not for this video, but in general for photo stills for me later when I plan to eventually do photo editing of my own shots of me holding up my lightsabers. For those who don't know, I have a lightsaber collection, but I usually tend to keep that under wraps with a video or two. Now, it's very important you make sure that the both ends meet up. Then, once this is activated, don't click anything else except for going to select. You drop down to modify, then you hit feather. See, now it's at 1, which is fine, but personally I like to leave it off on even numbers, just to make it a bit easier to do. So I leave it on a 2, which would smallly fit shrink a bit of this, and now what we do is we hit new layer, we go to layer, hit new, then hit layer, then that new, then go to edit, hit fill, change this to custom, and now of course this is for however you want to do so, but for conventional sake, because these all lightsabers are basically have a light cord, you want to change this from black by dragging this from out of the bottom left corner all the way up to the top left corner to white. Now you hit it in. And now that is your inner core done. So now rename this layer to whatever inner core you want it to be. And now this is just only a bit of a thing that I would do, only as a bit of a side thing just to help get rid of some of the edges. So what I'll do is I'll go to inner glow, change it from screen to lighten, move occupancy to 100%, swap the softer to precise, move the jitter up, move the size up, and along with the spread to 100 and 200 respectively. Then I head to outer glow, I move that up to 100%, I hit lighten, I swap this to white, which I also did with inner glow, and now I leave it on softer, and I would hit 4 and 4, and I'll move the jitter up to 100, and this should largely now lock most of the edges and make it look at least more, more normalish. I'm only saying normalish because I kind of messed up on the tracing portion, but that is to be expected, as that does happen. Now what we do is begin tracing the outline of the white blade. Although this one doesn't nearly have to be as precise as the core one, because the core is usually the one that I would leave up for following the steps very directly, because it's just easier to do so by keeping it all in one place. Makes it a bit easier to get that inner core looking like an actual lightsaber core. Now we head down to modify, and then we hit expand. We change this now to 10, and as you can see, the blade portion has expanded. However, in order to help fix this, we're now going back to select, we're hitting modify, and then we're going to be hitting feather, then we hit 10, which will now smooth things out, and now we head to layer, we hit new, and then we hit new layer. And now we do edit, and then we hit fill in, we hit preserve transparency, and now we click that off, and now voila, we have currently the glowy effect and inner core. If I removed inner core, you can see that the blade is still partially shining due to the reflective material used on the sets of VSP for the blades to help the people animating. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a long day. And now this is the part where you could, if you go over to layer 1, let's just rename this to color, just to help illustrate the point. We duplicate the layers a few times, and then we hit merge down, and we merge them together, and then after you're done free copies, that's usually what I do, you make another copy. Now it's very, very important now you click on the layer style and you hit clipping mask. The main reason for this is because now this is the clipping mask. That means all what this will show, and it's very important that you have to hit clipping mask on from the duplicate purely alone of the color one. Because otherwise, it wouldn't work. Well, it would work, it's just not in the way you would think. So pretty much now, because now you have a mask layer, which will only, for example, show the parts where I color in, and it's literally just the area of the blade that that I selected. Meanwhile, just to help prove a bit of a point, I'll just duplicate this layer real quick. Don't worry for anyone that's wondering what's going on. The answer is simply I am just clearing this out just to kind of make it a bit easier to understand, hopefully. This is purely not a thing that you could do or so, but this is an optional thing. Personally, I do this style from time to time just to get more of a consistency of what I like from the photo. And whether or not, anything's an issue. So as we see here, everything's alright. Alright, and we can test how bright it is. Now if we duplicate the layers a little bit, this is just only to demonstrate the brightness, but now if we just make this into that, and now since this is just going to only show this, I'm going to change it to whichever color you desire. In my case, I'm going to go for this medium bluish, because I know for Luke's lightsaber and Empire Strikes Back, it is indeed a blue. And then I'll color this on the color copy section. And then we turn on the hilt's inner core, and we see that we have the lightsaber effect. Granted, could I have done a better job at drawing it? Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I could. I most definitely could. Good. But did I want to? No. Sorry about that. A little bit tired. Now we turn off the black copy, and look at that. We have a lightsaber effect. You know what? I will show you what to do if you guys want to redo your hilt stuff. Once again, go to the polygonal lasso select, and now you simply retrace the blade, this time a bit more carefully, so that way it's easy to, be able to do this. And yes, you do, for this one, for the inner core, you do have to be very careful about where you click, because that is the primary important thing, because if you accidentally misclick, that could lead to the end of the lasso, and then you would have to restart all over again. Trust me, it's not as fun as it sounds. And so now we go once again to this corner, to the flat top, and then we go from here, and we follow very still. We try staying in a pretty consistent pattern, so that way the line almost looks like it's straight all the way through. And hopefully it will work. The only other issue I would say that comes from tracing a blade by it's not necessarily by hand, but you get what I mean. by cursor and by Caresway, y'all know I'm not really an artist, but once this is starting to occur, just make sure that you have all of this ready, and all properly traced out. Otherwise, it will become a bit of an issue later on. And this is why I personally try avoiding messy lightsaber hilts to try to do this on, because personally it kind of confuses where the blade's at. Make sure that these two parts connect. There we go. And now, once again, as you can see on how much that's been messed up, that yeah, I clearly have been trying to do this for a long while. And I just want to get this kind of over with. So now we hit to select, we hit modify, we hit feather. Instead of 10, we're going to place it at 2. At 2, now we're going to hit layer, then hit new layer, and go to edit, go to fill, hit custom, pick whichever color you want, then record. For me, I'm choosing white because that's the usual Star Wars core color. And then we turn that on. We now move this to the very, very top of the editing list. So of the editing layers. For those that can't tell, yeah, this is my first time trying to make something like this. So now we just turn on the layers and we get to see, look, that is a pretty good lightsaber effect. Once again, for other aspects of it, that would just depend on your personal taste with lightsabers. But yeah, that is how to make a lightsaber on Photopedia for a photo. Now, if you want to save a photo or do something else, personally, I don't know how to save it, as I've just been screenshotting it. So that way, I could compare colors. But for example, like if I really wanted to, I could change the color from blue to, let's say, green. Because with this color copy layer, I can go back to my brush tool and then paint over it and just have the blade be turned from blue to green. Just like that. And yes, it's a bit of a tedious process at first, but you'll get better at it as time goes on. And the more you stare at the screen, you more or less realize that I'm bad at it. Yeah, but besides that, I do want to say that that's pretty much that portion completed. About that, I'm not sure what happened, but I think that I managed to get this back online, as my computer just kind of froze for a sec. And yeah, I'm not sure how much this is caught where I left off on, but yeah, hopefully this is workable. Anyways, since I've shown you guys how to do this, you might be thinking, Minnie, what about Other Saber? Well, it's kind of the same process that I just showed you, but instead, you can make the color like whatever you want. For example, I could change this to red. Red on the color copy, that's a mask. It's now equipping mask. Change this up to make it easier and turn it to red. It's like, oh no, Luke's turned to the dark side. What are you going to do? Something like that. Because honestly, I am starting to lose a bit. because I've been kind of looking at the screen and touring around the college campus for all day, so I'm just a bit tired. But I'm just showing y'all what I kind of like doing in my free time. Free time when it involves this. This because I personally find it a bit fun. It's fun to do and good. Now I'll make Lightsaber orange. Orange. So hopefully this will help y'all out for those that want to kind of follow a bit and start doing a bit of work on sabers. Personally, I'm using this more as a test run for my for my animation class throughout college. Okay, so now I'm in college for a film major, bachelor's degree of fine arts for filming the production option. However, it is a requirement that for the production option that I do have to take uh, an animation course 101. 101, so I am just, for now, just coloring up lightsabers and then planning to do that more or less in motion. In motion as kind of like a scene for animating. For animating as a bit of a project later on. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like down below. And once again, check out Photopedia.com because, well, it's got quite a lot of fun tools, and to be honest, it's a fun free editing software. Where if you want, you could technically pay for a better version of it, but personally I say stick with the free version if you just want something that's low cost and not anything too expensive in that way. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.